back to Intentional Queen Podcast, Journey to Restoration with Jenni. We are in 2025, okay? I'm so excited to just share with you just the new things that God is doing for me, but also what I know He's going to be doing in your life. You know, on this channel, I'm talking things from activating mindfulness. We're talking about embracing healing, and we're also talking about leveling up on confidence. With that being said, we're going to shout out Jenni still on this thing. I was away at a book signing back in November, shouting out She Wins Society. But we was out and about after my book signing, and somebody said to me, you know, Jenni, just post the thing. Just go live. Like you've already put enough reps into this podcast. Because I slowed down in 2024 because I was pushing the book, and I just want to thank you guys. Just thank you so much that we are hundreds. I could put an S on that thing, a little stank. Hundreds of books sold of I Choose Me, The Intentional Guide to Never Losing Yourself Again. Next month in February 2025, it will be a year since it was out, and I'm just blessed. This is a little nod to someone as well, where it's you have to birth the thing and just let God handle it from there. One thing about me is I was really nervous about pushing a book. I was really nervous about writing and talking about my life. And I think that becomes a hard thing for people because if you private, you know, talking about your life and putting it out on a stage for people to criticize can kind of be hard. But that goes also back to my key line that I talked to you about is talking sexy to yourself. It's nothing like positive self-talk. So from now on in the podcast, jumping back to Jenni on this thing, is live. We're going to be doing real time. I guess I slowed down because I was like, I don't have time to make it as curated as I like it to be. But I started to learn from you guys because we're over 20,000 downloads and counting. That you guys, when I went back and did some auditing of the episodes that y'all really listen to, it's the ones that I'm raw and real. And so I've learned through my own podcast journey with over 90 episodes, which you guys can't even believe that. So that means in 2025, we're going to have over 100. I've learned that you just rock with me authentically, and it doesn't have to be so curated for you to tap into me on Thursdays. And so with that being said, we're going to jump into this episode. This episode is going to be called 3 Secrets to Expansion and Refinement as an Ambitious Mompreneur. And the reason why I'm calling it 3 Secrets to Expansion and Refinement as a Mompreneur is because I want you to talk about building your ark. And when we know about Noah's Ark, and it's January, we got new vision, we got new sites, right? Habakkuk 2:2 and 2:3 talks about make the vision, write it, and make it plain. And when I was doing, I'm trying to think. I did our last positive self-talk, yes, in November of 2024. I asked the people what was something that you kind of learned. And one of the takeaways was when I brought up about Steve Harvey saying write down 100 things that you really, really want to invest in or do for the year and marinate on that thing. So we're going to dig into that today. I know this is going to be a little bit all over the place, but I really want to solidify you have to build your own ark. And it's so important in this day and age as a mompreneur that you have to do those things. And maybe you don't have your own business, but maybe this may give you an inkling that you need to create your own streams. So let's jump into the first secret that I want you to have here. Is you need to have multiple income streams. And what I mean by that is, what is your purpose? What is your gifts? What are things that you really feel good about? And so for me, it was like I wanted to do my book, coaching, and speaking. And for me, I would say the book has generated its own set of wheels. And you know, I love coaching as a mindset coach. And we've really been digging into personal development. You know, the podcast is doing very well. And that also has led to other speaking opportunities. So this is a plug for me, but you don't have no business if you don't talk about your business. That's just going to free someone right there. You don't have no business if you don't talk about your business. And so for me, last year, the year of 2024 was all about expansion, right? I was really pushing the business intentional queen journey because I'm building my ark and I want you to build your ark. But remember, it's going to be one layer at a time. So this reflects back on Noah's Ark. This would make me think about it when you build in multiple income streams. I was in another room because, like I said, you must invest in yourself. So I was in a few rooms last quarter, and one of the rooms was don't do too many things. You need to to zone in. You need to niche in on something that's really important instead of having multiple things that you're speaking about or multiple things that you are doing. And when you have that, it's hard for you to focus on one thing. I was coaching with a client and I told her it's the shiny object syndrome. And what that means, ooh, this is new, let me try it. Ooh, this is new. And we really don't give it an opportunity to really work because we need to refine it. And so my word of 2025 is what? Refinement. And the goal is I'm not really looking for shiny syndrome. I used to have that too. That's why I was able to help my client through that we just really need to hone in. And another thing I learned when I was in another room last year was that you can really make it rain. You already have value. And I think this is something that's going to help someone with the secrets is to build your own ark. You got to understand, you got to put value in the tank, right? And so what they said at this conference was you are a cloud, right? And you put value into the cloud. And then you make it rain. Your rain will become making that money. And so you'll be able to have sowing and then you're going to have reaping. So sowing is into the cloud. You're making value. You're showing up. You're being authentic. You're giving the people what they need, right? Sometimes you're giving them what they want, but you're more so giving them what they need. You praying over your business. You're making it purpose driven. You're doing all the things, okay? And at some point, your cloud will become so full because that's what happens with a rain cloud, right? It becomes so filled with moisture that it comes down and you rain. And the rain that's coming down, like they said, will be the money. And so this is someone where when you build an ark, and we even know it about in Noah's Ark story, is that it takes time. And it doesn't happen overnight, but you have to be strategic. You have to be a plan. It was funny. We were in another group setting. Like I said, I stays around people that keep me growing, period. And they hold me accountable. So to them, they know who they are. And I thank you. And one of them was like, you're very strategic. Yes. But there's other people that can do things better for you. And so I've learned that, yes, I bring in skills, but there's also people who can bring in other skills that complement my skills when you are building your ark, because you cannot build it fully by yourself. Some things you are not good at and you need to delegate. So as I'm going through these, I'm just going to be talking because these are just some points that were very important to me that I wanted to bring up with you. So as we said, number one, I want you to build multiple income streams, but it needs to be refined. We're just trying to stick with one message, right? We're just trying to stick with what are you good at? And let's roll with that, because shiny syndrome is not where it resides. I used to be that. That's not what we're doing. That leads into overwhelm. That leads into self-neglect. So for me, I've been very clear on helping women choose themselves more in life, love, and motherhood, right? Y'all know I talk about all the time blooming. Like I really have zoned in on that. What are the three things that we're really focusing on? What do I say all the time? We are boosting confidence. We are embracing healing, and we're activating mindfulness, which in turn helps to boost your productivity so you can show up as your best self. Because the goal as a mom, especially if you are an overachiever, if you are a people pleaser, if you corporate, even if you are an entrepreneur, like I said, I've been in both stages. I can say this year, it just hits me different when I say, man, I have been doing anesthesia and doing nursing. Wow, for over 20 years. And that just hit me differently. And I recently had a birthday, but I'm saying all this to you that no matter what you do, sometimes there's a time for you to take a break, or there's a time for a chapter to end so you can start something new. And I could just tell you, just as who I am today, that I know that I had to stop dating Intentional Queen Journey, and I had to go ahead and make it solidify by trademarking that thing, putting in the work, baby steps, right? Me building the ark. So I'm saying all of these things because when I got to talk to some of my listeners and I talked to some of my clients and just being at speaking engagements and running workshops, a lot of times people ask me those questions. And when you start getting serious about it, right, then you start making strides. You start putting in effort, putting in that work. And it really doesn't matter what people say. It matters what you say, which goes back to my primary thing when I tell you in the Bloom framework that you have to believe in yourself as the core thing. You have to talk sexy to yourself, period. And so when you create the income stream, let it be based off one thing that you really feel good at, that you just show up for. So when people know me, they going to call me a self-love expert. They going to say, she going to say level up. Like, people talk to me about the butterfly. Like, I'm becoming known for that because I'm showing up in that space. But I'm showing up even for the one, because sometimes it's hard to show up and you don't know if it's going to be people there. But when you get in position like the Ruth and Boaz, it doesn't really matter. When you get in position, they going to come, they going to see it. But if you're not where you need to be, then they won't come. And I think that was something that I really learned. But refinement is something that we're really narrowing in. And I want you to think of your word of the year, but feel free to use refinement. But when we fly through the podcast, when you see anything about Intentional Queen Journey, you're going to be like, Neen is working on refinement. That means systems. That means anything that's going to streamline this process. We're now in the O and the M at the end of Bloom. We're really into that phase. So if you're really looking for the believing in yourself, loving yourself, and owning your story, then you really want to be a part of the I Choose Me Bootcamp. And that's available. You can book a call with me or apply to work with me at CoachJenni.com. We are doing well. It is a 12-week group coaching program. There is so much more there for you. But if you even just want to start out by being on our email list, so you can be in our Bloom free community, especially while it's free for right now, because we're soon getting to a cap where I'm probably going to make it paid because the math needs to be mathing. But for right now, it's free. So you definitely can join that by joining the email list at intentionalqueenjourney.com. You can sign up. There's a survey there. The reason why it's a survey there, because I asked questions about what are you looking for in the community? What are some topics you want me to talk about? This will be the things that you'll start seeing me answer on my YouTube channel and answering on my IG lives. And also what I'm going to be talking about on the podcast. Why? Because we're refining. You've already told me what you wanted. And so at this point, I want to be able to serve you those things. Number 2, make it easy. What they say, make it kiss. Keep it simple. Stupid, but we're not calling each other stupid, but keep it simple. I think for me, I can complex things because I be having all these thoughts in my head about how we could do it. But when I learned that when you make it so complicated, you are less likely to execute, because now you're overwhelmed and now you're frustrated and now you got all these things going on. And then the first thing you do is say, it's not perfect, I'm not going to do it. So this is why I'm shouting out Jenni on this, because she said, Neen, why you not keeping it simple? Go on and turn that record button on, give these people what they need. It don't got to be perfect. Serve the people. You done did it 90-ish times, so you got this. Keep going. And we're going to shout Temika out on this as well. This is why I said you got to have people around you that pour into you and they just give you the word that you need to keep going. And shouting out to Temika, she said, Neen, like the podcast, where you been? And I had to say to myself, like, y'all been showing up for me, but people know that I've been busy, but I figured out what my roadblock was. This is the thing that I want people to also know when you're authentic in your truth, is you show people some of your flaws, but you also show them how you overcome. Because when people can see something in you, then it makes them continue to understand that you're not perfect. You're not a robot. So in my authenticity, I have been able to help people and just share. And I mean, share from a place that you feel comfortable. Don't overshare, but do it from a place that you want to help heal or help another. And I think when you start sharing and you show up, like I said, it will help you to build the ark. It will help you to have multiple income streams. You heard? It will help you by keeping it simple and keeping simple routines. I got so many different things right now that I'm doing right now as I'm doing refinement to even get ready. I told my clients about a few things, but we'll talk more about it. But I'll put a little plug in. Like, you need to go ahead and have your calendars. I'm using what else? We have Google Calendar. I'm like getting everything really organized. I love the Legend Planner. I'm going to put the link down below. I do get little small commissions if you do click on the link and you get it, but my clients have been using it. I've been using it for years. It's a great planner. It helps you like organize your life in one book. I do the one that is the Legend Planner Pro. It's the dated one. And I do have a review up on my YouTube channel, so you can go on there and look for the link, Legend Planner, like how I went on and showed you how I use it. And I'll probably go live about it because one of my clients was asking me about it again. And so drop the link, check it out. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you on the podcast, whether you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead and subscribe and make sure you share it, because by you doing this, this helps the channel to grow. So it's all about helping us to grow out here in these streets. So as I digress, let's get back on this thing. So what did we say we're doing? We're making multiple income streams. We're making it easy by keeping it simple. We're also getting help, okay? So this goes back to number 3, the third thing that I think is a secret, getting help. Who doesn't? Strong friend, I'm going to call you out right now. Strong friend, come closer. Strong friend, you don't got to do it by yourself. Strong friend, you don't have to do it by yourself. Now, this is hard for us, okay? I put myself into it because I had to learn I cannot scale, I cannot grow if I think I am a one-woman show. Can't. You can't grow. You can't grow if you think you can do it by yourself. And so there are stages to this thing, which goes back to the tree concept. You got roots, you got branches, and you got leaves. In certain seasons, your roots are the ones your tree looks barren. So in certain seasons, I was looking like I was barren, but I was really doing a lot of work with my roots under the ground, getting things together. And then your branches are like extensions of you, right? You heard me talk about certain people who seed into me. And then I got leaves. They come with the wind. They blow with the breeze. They're there for the season that I need them, and then they're not there. This goes back to letting go what no longer serves you. Some things are there for a reason and a season to help you grow. You can look at them as rocket boosters. Like when you do a spaceship up into the air, it's always a booster, and then the ship continues to go. Sometimes you need something under you to help lift you and get you to your next level. And this is going to be another thing about next levels. New levels come new devils. So you got to be conscious of, even though you broke through one mold, you can't really step into another thing, which leads to peaks and valleys. That's a really good book. And in that book, it talks about you don't ride your highs too high, you don't ride your lows too low, but every top of one mountain is the bottom of another. And so when you hit your next ceiling, because when you break through, what I tell y'all all the time, when you break through a glass ceiling, you will get cut. You understand? And I think sometimes people don't want that pain. People talk to me all the time when we're coaching, and I talk about my life, and I just really, shared a lot of my true essence of what I've been through, because adversity has led to opportunities for me, and I talk about it in the book. And shouting out a couple people who put me out there, was like, Mean got strong personality, she gonna tell you what it is. I do tell you what it is, but I've learned that the knives in my back, or the lessons that I've learned, or when I've been in a hole and I had to crawl out, those are the things that when I now stand up, I stand out on a strong foundation. Like, it made me stronger. You understand? Like, that's for somebody. Like, don't let all the things that happen to you make you bitter. You want to be better. Be better, not bitter. These lessons. And for me, these are the bricks to the ark. Because, when I talk to you, I speak in layers. So this goes back to the Noah's Ark. You build your own ark. And so all them things that happened to me, I built bricks. The book was a brick. Like, everything is a brick. And you have to think about it from that perspective of growing and personal development. And one thing for me is I love speaking. And I didn't recognize how important it was when I wasn't showing up in this podcast space, that people was looking for me, that they were tuning in. So sometimes we can be oblivious to what comes so simple to us that may be complex to others, or be what they need. And I'm not saying to serve so much of yourself that you pour from your cup. What I'm saying is pour from your overflow. And so I can be honest with y'all, as I told you, I'm in my sabbatical season. And the reason why I want to go here about building the ark is because I was able to use my ark during my sabbatical season, but it took planning, right? It took for me to create multiple streams of income, but only talking about the same thing. Anything we talk about is going to be I choose me. We choosing ourselves more in life, love, and motherhood. That is a message that I'm putting in a book. That's the message in my coaching. That's the message when I'm speaking, right? We standing on that. I'm keeping it simple. I'm not trying to have my hands in too many pockets. You understand? I want to be more present. I'm building legacy. We out here doing big things. And this is not about me. And that's the lesson that I learned. So I'm showing up in that way. I stopped dating this business. We up here making real strategic business moves. I'm thinking CEO mindset. You know what I mean? So you got to tap in. CEO mindset mean I can't be the business, but I'm getting ready to build this business. And I need a team. I need people with me. So I need help. And so if that means get a VA, shout out my VA, she good. Like, I got people behind me to help me be better. And so you need people behind you to get you better. And if you can't really get people, you need to create systems, or you need to create routines. You need to create different things, so that way you don't have to always have your hands in the pocket. So then you can have your sabbatical season and not feel so stressed. That's a word for somebody, because I was watching a reel and it was talking about chronic stress and not getting sleep. Just talking about Black women in general, but also moms. Lack of sleep. Like I told y'all, I hit burnout twice and had to bounce back. I almost had a stroke. Like most of that is because I was pouring from my cup, not having systems in place, not knowing how to ask for help. Like these are things that you need. Like I got a financial team. Like you want to talk to me about finances, we could talk about it. There are things that will help you bloom. So when you are in your later years, I'm in my 40s now. Oh, can I say that out loud? She in her 40s. When you hit your 40s, you want to be able to relax. I worked really hard through my teenage years. Y'all heard me talk about 25 years of doing nursing in some capacity, making 5 to 6 figures that whole time. Like to me, that is huge. Breaking molds, but people used to be jealous of that, but they didn't see all the hard work I was doing, getting all those degrees and getting all that student loan debt and doing all the things that it required. That now I want to sit in my element, but I want to be okay. It's kind of like people who play basketball or play football, but then they kind of retire and that's all they know. So now they're trying to find something else that still feeds that beast. That's all they know. And so for me, my ark is feeding my beast. Because I can serve and it feels good, because it's with purpose, because it finds you. And people say, well, how do you know it is what it is? Because you can't let it go. It just keep popping back up. I'm like, people be finding me talk about life and career. Like people all my life. That's been the narrative. I've been a healer, all those things. And so I just want y'all to stand on that. And then the last thing, which is a bonus, and we talk about the refinement and having the plan. So the legend planner, like I said, you can map out everything from your monthly goals, your weekly goals, your daily goals, time blocking, habit trackers. It tells you your wins. It allows you to write your vision. It allows you to write your mission. It allows you to write your 100 things. Like I love this thing. I had, this would be my second year, but this is the first planner I committed to all year. Like sometimes you'd be like all gung-ho the first quarter, like, yeah, I'm going to be doing my planner, and then you fall off. Like this one, committed to that thing, banged out so many of my goals and everything. So as we wrap up, I just want you guys to tap in. Think about things that you really want to do that will help you to expand and refine as a mompreneur. And even like I said, if you are not a mompreneur, but that seems to be who my crowd is, become one. You need multiple incomes. And one thing about motherhood as well, there's stages to this thing. Your child will require different things of you at each season. So at this season, the sabbatical season, I need to be more present. And so I made a way. And so this is somebody that you make a way, but you got to plan the way. You can't just jump out. This is the parachute plan. You got to have a parachute plan in progress. And you got to be able to stand on your ark and be okay with it. But you do need to checks and balances. And you need to be okay with understanding that multiple streams are okay. But it just needs to be concise. We're trying to refine it. Don't be trying to do shiny syndrome. You got to keep it simple. When I started streamlining things and not making it so complicated, it was easier for me to hit the goal every time and not quit or not get tired or not get overwhelmed, right? Because we're manifesting the life we want on our terms without guilt, without resentment. What else are we also do? We are activating mindfulness and boosting our productivity, right? So as I said, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's grow this thing. Let's grow. And also, wherever you are listening to the podcast, make sure that you shout me out some stars or a review and share with a friend. So level up your intentional queen to a better you. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. And don't forget, build your own ark. I want to see you guys doing big things for 2025. Cheers to you. Blessings.